On the issue, say President Mahama bet me a term, and won't mean term no. Sanity. It is saying kasa. Na Mr. Freddie Blay, NPP for dinner temo drageno. And I'm who posting even now the whole. Wako cousin beer. As NPP for at TBB woman. With the Nina bro. Professor H. Kwesi Prempe, Constitutional Review Committee, Mahama Tono Dano, react strongly to idea Mr. Freddie Blay Kano. Me are my family constitution, you know. You become near Siade. High critical analysis and must also subscribe me. Or subscribe click on notification. Me the video be here tomorrow. Obehu na weti me ashebi. Mr. Freddie Blay, and then me senior colleague Kwesi Parker Wilson. A warrior pa ekasai. Na ya about Supreme Court in some cause the Chief Justice and there suspended. Na Kwesi Parker say, I'm on for keka. Say agenda nesa Mahama person ko tetem. The response of Freddie Blay will shock you.
Behind the veil is what the concern that, I mean, there is a whole agenda, a scheme designed clearly to give John Mahama a third term. Are you worried about this?
I'm not at all worried. To give me that, it's not the court system or the judiciary. It's not a court that vote an individual or a party into power.
Yeah, but at least the court can interpret the law to see that John can seek another term.
If the court interprets it for an individual, I don't want to make it John Mahama. This is an individual.
But he's the president
at the moment. Yes, based on the Constitution, I'm talking particularly Article 61.
Right. No, I think 66. 66, 1 and 2.
61, 1 and 2.
Right.
And then, which states clearly that a president shall have a term of 4 years, and cannot go for 2 terms. Its interpretation, it's there, it stands alone.
Yeah, because in fact, Chairman, I just put the Constitution says that a person shall not be elected to hold office as president of Ghana for more than 2 terms.
Very good. It's clear.
It's very clear. Exactly.
Individuals said that very clear. But for more than 2 terms, you could go further. Could say when it says so for more than 2 terms could be that consecutively.
Right.
But maybe the word had not come. The law is in the bosom of the judges. If it goes to for example, the Supreme Court, which has the exclusive judicial of interpretation
to interpret the law
of the Constitution, not just the law, but the law, every other, court can interpret the law, but in this case,
the Constitution.
Right. If that body decides that what they mean by 2 terms, more than 2 terms, means consecutively. In this case, he has gone
and come back
once and come back
after so many years. After 8 years.
After 8 years, is coming back. As to whether that is consecutive or it is 2 terms, you can look at it from that way. It's subject to a lot of interpretation depending on how you are looking at it. If the law court decides so, me, Freddie Blay, I don't have any problem with that.
You don't have a problem?
I don't have any
if they rule that John Mahama can go for another term.
Their own wisdom, they look at it and interpret it this way. Me, I'm saying that
really?
It's not the law court that vote for a president. The individuals who constitute a panel, who may look at a case, who will sit on the case, they have only 1 vote each.
That's true.
It's the people of this country who will vote. If they decide on that, and if the John Mahama in this case seeks another term and his party decides to fill in, I don't have any problem with that.
I mean, this sort of could be a recipe for disaster.
It could be a recipe in Africa
for mutiny.
Please. In Africa, a lot of individual heads of states have exploited the situation where there is no limitation as to whether you could be in power for 2 years or for 2 terms or not, and maybe decide to stay for whatever years, some 40 years, 30 years, and so forth and so on. I'm saying if there's democracy, if the ground is leveled, if it is fair, and people in this country decide to vote for somebody for 2 terms, 3 terms, or 4 terms. Freddie Blay, I don't have any problem with that.
No, Chairman, do I hear you say that? I mean, the capping or the limitation should essentially be even taken off. Do I hear you say that?
Indeed, at the end of the day, I don't mind if it can be taken off. That's my position.
To allow for an individual
to
go as many times as he wants to contest.
If he wants to, and the party that he belongs to decides to fail him. As the people in this country, people of Ghana, talking like Ghanaians, go to election and say, this is the man we want.
I mean, this is dangerous to our democracy because we've been passing for over 30 years. Yeah, I mean, but we've been doing since 92.
In many cases.
We've been doing 8 years for every president. I mean, this could be a reason for disaster.
Listen to me.
A chaotic situation,
please,
Chairman.
What we are used to for this since 92 had been the American example, the Nigerian example, and what else? I can't fathom. But in a place like UK, Germany, Italy, and many other African countries, there are no limits as to what term you could stay if you want to. But it depends on the people of this country. So
would you propose, I mean, in clear, simple terms, that we should decap the limitation?
Left to me, I will have it. If they decap it, I don't have any strong opinion on that. If they decap it, so be it.
This is an interesting proposition.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying.
Yes. So that is Mr. Freddie Blay. I say, common interpreting is only problem. Any idea? My understanding of Article 66, and yes, sanity. Menya lawyer ni be nya sa na mete me ni Mr. Freddie Blay nyadwen enti ma me man lawyer ni de at least your constitutional review president Mahama appoint no oka ho Akufo-Addo de bi obeye kra think say no oka ho enti he is an established authority when it comes to constitutional matters. Or say there is nothing to interpret about the presidential term limit in 1992 constitution, none whatsoever. The kind of thinking or talk is only possible in a legal culture that has raised or taught generations of lawyers and judges to believe that not even a constitutional test, one that is not in tension of the structure or history or purpose of the test or any other part of the constitution, can constrain a judge. Or say, Yasuso sa kasa bi say so am obi ansori na odi asem ko Supreme Court. Asem a ye ken confusion bia anyhow. This is Professor H. Kwesi Prempeh and Ekasei. Or say, this is where this Ghana style so-called modern purposive research appears to have led us. An interpretation of Article 66(1) to the effect that the president who has been elected to a second term can stand election again, that is a third term, upon the expiration of the second term, is illegitimate and bogus. Or say, Yanse bi enim, enyamra kwanso. So people because a president bet me a third term because enya consecutive na odi ye. Or say, nyina so bi eni sa asem ne mu. Or say, judges do not have the authority to rewrite or amend or set aside the provision of the Constitution whose text and purpose, including from history, admit of only one meaning. 2 terms means 2 terms. Or say, it doesn't lie in the Supreme Court on basis samra. Emra echinye bi eni hu. Emra what historical antecedent, you know. The Supreme Court doesn't have the right to change that. Now 2 terms means 2 terms. Or see, if the framers of Article 66(1) had wanted to say that the president cannot be elected to the office, a president cannot be elected to the office as president for more than 2 consecutive terms, they would have said so. And they, in fact, said and knew to say in Article 2462 of the same constitution in relation to a DCE. I said this matter must be laid to where the Supreme Court is not omnipotent and above the Constitution. Into a one Supreme Court. Share na man fam on some messages and yem na confusion be any baby. Many am who's a man for be a critic test be. That the be because woman yin suya de. Udi yes yin suya de na obedient mean that die. Yanko Constitution. Article 66(1) Mekama was say a person elected as president shall, subject to clause 3 of this article, hold office for a term of 4 years, beginning from the date on which he is sworn in. A person shall not be elected to hold office as president of Ghana for more than 2 terms. Where in this constitution is consecutive written? I don't know, yes, sir. Papa, through the communications with also Oma. Inti mama fanya ka kreti bibi 2 consecutive na wen. Or say for not or say a person shall not be elected to hold office as president of Ghana for more than 2 terms. Mahama do 2 terms. There's no word like consecutive in the constitution. It's your own imagination. I submit to you. Where is the word conservative in this article? There's nothing there. It's a non-starter. Mahama we. I am told say he's not interested. The man who push the agenda no, it's a dangerous thing. Read about Kenya, read about Cote d'Ivoire. We Article 66(2) no, it's clear. 2 terms is 2 terms. One consecutive. It's not in the constitution. So why watch your constitution? Can say an argument. But constitution Ghana one Ghana mra. There's nothing like consecutive in Article 66(2), respectively. Mumi nyai sa e create unnecessary tension. Na wo mu na ban. That is it. The submission no meaning say we be disagree normal, but the law say madam get to talk on kind. The law is the law. We do be see a critical channel. Mesro so be subscribe here dem. Most subscribe click bell notification no. Me the video be to ma be hu net ma ship. Send the be American me hian ana Ghana so yan. Mesro so be show so ye e dey ama me. Bye bye.